What is up? Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier, and again, there is no Jason. He unfortunately will not be joining us for the next few episodes due to an injury. But he's fine. He'll be back. Everything's good. We're just here. We're taking a little bit of a hiatus from doing a dual recording, so I'll just be recording some of the films that I've recently seen. But he should be back hopefully in the next couple shows, and we'll be back moving and grooving. But I'm here and I'm back to review a film that is now playing in theaters, I believe theaters only, which is Black Widow. And I say, without further ado, I say we get right into it. So most people are familiar with the character Black Widow, played by Scarlett Johansson. She's been in pretty much all of the Avenger films, but never really had her own film. It's no spoiler to let you know that she unfortunately passed away in the last Avengers Endgame film. I think that if you've been watching the series and all the shows and everything of that nature, you're probably already aware of this, so that's no big spoiler there. But in this film, they decided to give her basically a backstory of sorts. It's not a true backstory. I mean, it kind of is. The film kind of begins with her as a kid, her and her sister. And her parents basically living in Ohio. Clearly, they are all speaking with a Russian accent, so you could tell that they're not native to Ohio. Something is going on, and one day, the father, who's played by David Harbour, comes home and basically tells the wife, who's played by Rachel Weisz, that they basically have to go immediately, and they basically all take off in a car and get into a plane. They're being chased by some sort of agents, and they fly off. And then they land at some base, and then they basically, the entire family, her sister, and the parents are all basically kind of separated and kind of go their own way. And then flash forward to what is them as being adults. Seems like they really haven't seen each other in many years. This film basically, as an adult version of Black Widow, it basically takes place, I would say, right after Avengers Civil War. So if you remember, and you may have to go back if you haven't watched it, but basically it takes place right after the camps kind of break up into two different factions. There's like the Iron Man camp with all his people, and then there's like the Captain America camp because he basically doesn't want to give up the Winter Soldier, who's his old friend. And I think that Black Widow ends up going in on that side with kind of like the bad guys of the Avengers, basically. And so she's basically been on the run. And that's basically where this film basically picks up. Is basically she's still kind of on the run. So like I said, it's not a complete backstory because you don't get to see they talk about it, kind of what she's been doing while she's been growing up and who she's been working for. She's been working as kind of like a Russian spy in the past, but at this point she's kind of an Avenger. Meanwhile, her sister is basically still basically working as a Russian spy, and she basically is after this lady that's carrying like this briefcase, and basically attacks the lady, and the lady basically opens up the briefcase. There's a canister and basically sprays her in the face with it, and it kind of like basically brings her back to her senses, I guess, if you will. And it seems like she's been like, her sister's been basically programmed this entire time, and basically kind of comes to and basically is now a good person, I guess. I don't know. It's a little confusing. And her sister, who's played by Florence Pugh, basically is now a good person, and basically wants to basically get in touch with her sister, Black Widow, and to basically figure out kind of what's going on and who's behind, like who's turning their minds and this kind of stuff. There's a lot of story to it, and so I don't want to go into the full specifics without getting into exactly what happens play for play. But basically, in a nutshell, there's a group of bad people that basically control like these like assassin women, basically, and Black Widow was once part of that program as well, and her sister clearly was also. And so basically, the arc is basically them trying to basically bring down that story, bring down that arc of these like assassin like women, basically, that are like working and kind of attacking people and doing the bidding for somebody that's higher up, which you don't find out till later in the movie, of course. And there's also a main bad guy that basically, or main bad person, I should say, that basically can like wears a mask and can basically shoots like these arrows and can kind of basically mimic anybody that that they're fighting against. Um, and then her parents, who she also wants to get in touch with, we also find out were like superheroes, kind of like back in the day. Like her dad, played by David Harbour, was basically kind of like a Russian version of like Captain America, if you will. And then the main bad guy, or main bad person, I guess, if you will, is kind of also like a Winter Soldier kind of version. Only, this individual can like mimic movements of anybody that they fight with. And that's basically the story in a nutshell. Um, it's about the family getting together and basically trying to take on this evil, corrupt organization, and kind of just goes from there. Overall, I thought it was okay. I mean, I enjoyed it. I guess overall, I'm not going to say just okay. I enjoyed it overall. I mean, I didn't think there was anything like riveting or earth shattering, or there's no like big revelations or anything like that. To me, it just seemed like it was just kind of more of a setup to give her basically the backstory that she basically deserved, but also kind of a setup for her sister, who, from what I've been told, is going to be part of some new, like, one of those new series with like Hawkeye and some of the other people. There's a bunch of series like Loki, and a lot of the other Avenger characters are getting their own series. Uh, um, the Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I think her sister's gonna be part of that. So it's really the Black Widow story, but it's more kind of, in my opinion, a setup for future films or future shows or whatever for the rest of the family, as we all know that the Black Widow has died. That's basically kind of the gist of the film. It's long. There is a lot of action. There's a lot of great action scenes. There's a lot of good fight scenes. So I enjoy all that, of course. Is it the best Marvel film? Probably not. I mean, I'm always more partial to like the Guardian of the Galaxies, or a couple of the Thor ones are really, really good. I kind of like the ones where they just do something a little bit different. It's not the same old with like all those Iron Mans. I mean, I really couldn't tell you the difference between most of them. I enjoyed most of them, but I really couldn't tell you the difference between most of them. All the the Thor one's a little different. The Guardian of the Galaxy ones are a little bit different, for the most part. But a lot of those films just kind of run together. Most of those Avenger films, remember the difference between Civil War and uh, you know uh, in game and all those other ones. I don't know. They all kind of run together and they all kind of lump together, because at some point in time they were turning out like 3 or 4 of those films out. I felt like a year, and so I mean all of them kind of run together. So, and this one kind of falls in line with that same kind of vein where it's a good story. There's nothing to really completely fault about it. Is it the most memorable story in the world? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you as a viewer. But for me, I enjoyed it, but I don't know that it's something I necessarily need to revisit. I'm a DVD collector, Blu-ray collector. It's probably not one I'm going to buy on my Blu-ray. It's probably not going on my shelf. But if it came on TV, I'd probably watch it again. I mean, but I probably just wouldn't buy it or own it. So I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Excuse me. And the face I'm going to give it is just a smile with no teeth. But let me know in the comments, what was your thoughts? Did you like Black Widow? Was it a good film? Did you not like it? Was it the best Marvel film you've ever seen? I don't think anybody's saying that, but maybe you are. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. What I will say I do like about the Black Widow character, and I forgot to mention this, I do like her as a character. And what I like about her as a character is she's basically kind of like like a Batman version for DC, because she's like the one that's kind of like of all the people, her and Hawkeye, they're kind of like the most human ones. Um, Whereas everybody else, she did, all the other characters seem to have some sort of superpowers or can fly, or they're just, super brainiacs and they can, design an Iron Man suit that can fly, or whatever case may be. She's kind of basically, just, kind of just a tough chick that can fight really well, and maybe has some really strong features, can fight really strong and things of that nature, but she doesn't have any like real special powers or anything of that nature. So I kind of like that about her. It's just the film is just nothing to be amazed by or blown away by. So I gave it 3 out of 5. But like I said, let me know in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification, and we'll be back again with another show for you guys again real soon. We thank you for watching and hope you have a great day. Bye.